What is the best way of approaching improvement? Improvement of pretty much any sort, essentially. The answer for a lot of such cases would be a sober and calm approach. You know, as much as we complain about things and as much as we feel like our feedback only reaches deaf ears, the developers do keep up with what concerns us. They do read up on forum posts and subreddits, and I want you to consider this. If you're the developer of a game that is home to literally millions of players, how do you approach the idea of improvement? Freaking out and changing things 5 times a week based on the outrage you witness on Reddit probably is not it. People on the internet have no obligation to be reasonable. Reviewing games, talking about them, and complaining is not our job. I mean, it is my job to a certain extent, but nobody cares about what I have to say anyway. The point is, a community outrage is often very reactionary, and very rarely is it based in reason. A lot of changes are set to break the game before they even made it onto the live servers. Predictions being made with certainty, but without any evidence to back them up. Community figures are as guilty of that as any other person who decides to share their opinion on an open platform. In the grand scheme of things, we're all just players, and many of us worry for the future of Overwatch. Again, we have no obligation to be reasonable on the internet and approach something that concerns us in a calm manner, but the developers do. Opinions disguised as facts and fake news often spread like wildfire on the internet and make things often look way worse than they really are, and that is something that the developers have to consider. To us, the players, something may seem very black and white, an obvious problem with an obvious solution. But the next time you make your way onto one of those open platforms to share your opinion, I would like to encourage you to take your time with the feedback you're giving. I'm not saying that you have to sit down and carefully think about what you're criticizing, because your opinion and perception as a player matters. But look out for the way you word your opinion. Nobody's going to take your criticism seriously if you word it in a derogatory manner. So if the future of the game is truly a concern of yours, word your criticism carefully and politely, because then it is far more likely to reach the ears of a developer rather than being drowned out in the thousands upon thousands of angry posts that wish ill upon Blizzard. But let's get to the actual point of the video, because at the end of the day, the best way of getting a company's or developer's attention are numbers. No, I'm not asking you to compile all of your competitive data and calculate God knows what to prove that the matchmaker is broken. Just like in pretty much every other industry, we consumers vote with our wallets rather than our voices. Complaining about something is cool and all, particularly when said complaints are based in reason and have evidence accompany them. But if you still buy and play the game, you're giving off the message that the product is, well, good enough as is. The last thing I want to do is encourage a boycott, and it may seem hypocritical to say the following given the nature of my content, but if you have fun with the game, and if you have fun in competitive, don't let me or anyone else for that matter ruin that for you by any means. This is a message that goes out to all those players who complain non-stop but never intend to do anything productive to further the improvement of the game. It is but a logical suggestion more than anything else. If you're tired of the way they are balancing the game and you hate what they're doing and how little they seem to care with their lack of responsiveness, vote with your gameplay. Stop playing competitive if you think it's a bad game mode. And honestly, you have every reason to hate it. Yes, it is frustrating that we hear so little, so rarely of the developers. It's frustrating that we can't follow their thought process for balancing decisions. And it sucks to play a game that you want to be awesome, but constantly having bad experiences over and over again. But by still playing it, you're telling them that what they did is good enough anyway. I think a lot of us can agree to the notion that when a match of competitive is fairly balanced and everyone is working together, it's an incredibly fun experience. That's why so many of us play comp to begin with. But the number of satisfying games has been decreasing for a while now. Where previously most of us could confidently say that at least half our matches were genuinely fun, we hear more and more players talk about the sheer rarity of actually good competitive matches. Being dedicated players that feel unfairly treated or not taken care of, and then reading something like this sure leaves a bitter aftertaste. Because of the way our audience has evolved digitally and the level of engagement with these franchises, now they'll play the game for hours upon hours upon hours and go back into it for the seasonal content, downloadable content, and microtransactions. They are living inside that ecosystem for years, and just today, Overwatch players are playing an average of 2 hours a day. As quoted by Activision Blizzard executive Tim Kiplin over on .esports.com, you can find the full article down in the description below. You see, Overwatch financially must be a massive success, I have no doubt about it, and whether they consider the casuals or the competitive players their core audience does not matter. But what is absolutely ridiculous is that they are trying to push this esports meme with the Overwatch League when their own competitive game mode is not even taken seriously by their own players. And they just seem to care too little. Actually, whether they care or not does not even matter. They can have the best intentions, but leaving us in the dark for so long and just keeping silent is not the right way to treat your player base at all. Quick play matchmaking is a mess, not to mention the hot garbage dice roll that is the competitive matchmaker. Seasonal content has not evolved at all, with them just lazily tossing out the same game modes over and over again in more or less the same state with the same problems they had during the previous release. Yes, Moira is an incredibly fun hero and I'm thankful for them having added her, but expecting to keep us engaged with nothing but new maps that we keep cursing because of their odd design decisions when it comes to how they are being abused in competitive play, and then a hero launch every once in a while, not evolving on seasonal content in any meaningful way or implementing something else that would add value to the game and alter the experience for a change of pace, but instead just adding more skins and pushing for a game as an esports that could not be further from being properly balanced. All of that, in one word, is frustrating, and their silence is not helping the matter. Listen, you can think of me and my content whatever you want. I am not oblivious to the nature of my videos not resonating with a huge number of people, and I understand, but I am also not trying to appeal to a mainstream audience. I try to do my best to push my own narrative. The videos I make try to fulfill a variety of purposes. Anything from just venting my frustration away to making genuine suggestions for gameplay improvements, I am merely representing myself and my thoughts. And all of that is in line with how I approach the game itself, because at the end of the day, I am but a gamer myself. When you see me complain about competitive play, then chances are that I am playing it far less than I used to, and that is my way of sending a message. I express my dislikes, I try to make suggestions whenever I can, and I end up voting with my wallet and my time by deciding to not purchase any cosmetics and also staying away from competitive or Overwatch altogether. I may only be one person, but this is the power that I as a consumer have. If you want to send a message to the developers, do it where it hurts, their wallets. Don't wish ill upon people, don't get derogatory, and don't ignore the issue if it truly bothers you. Do the only thing that's right and make the call that makes the most sense for you and your personal viewpoint. But this is me done for the day, so I hopefully encourage you to have your actions reflect your opinion in a more meaningful way than angrily shouting in the general direction of Activision Blizzard. If you want to add to the discussion, then feel free to do so down in the comment section below. But until then, thank you everybody so much for watching. Don't forget to drop me a like on your way out if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you all next time.